Well, local football naturally, and then when I was at school, and then when I left school, I played for Gresley Rovers under Sammy Crooks.
Because you were born in Derby, yeah?
Yeah, born in Derby. Under Sammy Crooks, then I moved. Well, and after that, I went to West Brom as in their youth team, and that's when I won the England cap, the one only. So I couldn't have played that well. But and then then I went up to Blackpool through Jack Nicholas. He was their scout in Derby. He asked me to go up there, and I went up there, and I had a week in the lodgings up there, and I played in the practice match. George Farm was in goal. There was Stanley Matthews and all the old players. Mortensen in the practice match. I played against that. I stayed up there, but I didn't really like it, and I was a bit homesick at the time. And my dad wouldn't let me sign full time or go on the ground staff anyway, because you must serve an apprenticeship, which I did in engineering. And then after that, I came back, and I was a bit disgruntled and this and that, and then Burton Albion, Jackie Stamps was the manager. They all played Jackie Stamps. You won't remember these.
I know the name, of course.
Jackie Stamps, yeah. He took me to Burton Albion, and then from there I moved over to Nuneaton Borough, and I was about 20 then, and I had to, and I finished my apprenticeship at 21. So, and I was playing really well at Nuneaton, and Shrewsbury came in for me, and as I say, that was Arthur Rowley, and they well, I don't know what they settled in Nuneaton, but I went from there to Shrewsbury, and then as soon as I finished my apprenticeship, I moved up to lodgings up in Shrewsbury with Pete Dolby, a mate of mine from Derby, who played against us as centre-half when John Atio scored the goals in the promotion year.
Wow. We'll come on to the promotion year in a minute, but so your England youth cap, who was that against?
That was against Switzerland at Brighton. Yeah, which was it was a big thing really, a big achievement, because how it came about, I was playing for Derbyshire in the senior Derbyshire 11, and we played against Stafford, and Dave Burnside was in the Stafford team, and I had an Ella game that night, and next thing I know, I read in the paper where this England scout had selected me to play for the England youth, and so
let's talk about Shrewsbury briefly. You got to a League Cup semi-final.
Yes, against Rotherham. Was it? I think it was Rotherham. Yeah, Rotherham. Yeah, we got to the semi-final, and yeah, Shrewsbury was quite a good time there. I wasn't there that long though, really, before Fred came in for me here at Bristol. But,
paid the princely sum of what, £6,000?
I believe so.
That time that was like $1 million, mate.
Because when we used to come here with Fred to Shrewsbury a couple of times, he used to say, "You see this building they've got here?" He says, because they built a new foyer on the front. He says, "Those 2 bricks they bought it. What we paid for you?" He said. But old Fred, yeah. But,
so that was when did you come to Bristol?
62, just as I got married. Yeah, I came over 62, and as I say, it was a great move as it turned out. I didn't think so to start with.
Because I've read that you were ever present in the side for 3 successive seasons, one of which was the promotion season of 64-65, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and so tell us about that season and the players in that team.
Tony Ford, Alec Briggs, Jack played a few games.
Jack Connor.
Yeah, Jack Connor, and Gordon Lowe occasionally. But there's Chuck Drury we brought from West Brom. Gordon Parr, if I've not already said him, and there was Lou Peters on one wing, Savino and Jansen, and up front was John Atio and O'Brien Clark at the time. And as I say, it was a super season really. Peter Godsiff, I don't know how Peter is these days.
He's all right. He's still going strong.
Still going on, yeah. Wrote in the programme. After a game at Mansfield, we got beat 3-1, and it said he wrote that our promotion chances are finished. That's the end of it for this season, because it was only 2 points then, wasn't it? Yeah. Not the 3, and then from then on, I think we won every game to the end of the season, apart from we drew with somebody. And my old club, we played over Easter, and we played at Shrewsbury one on the Friday, and probably on the Monday we played here back at Bristol, and that was when we more or less clinched it. But we had to beat Oldham on the last match, and it's strange. The centre half against for Shrewsbury was my friend Pete Dolby against John, and then Alan Williams was the centre half for Oldham against us. So.
Who went on to play for City, of course.
Yeah.
So that Oldham game, memorable for many people who were there, and also a sort of farewell to John Attia, wasn't it, in a way?
Yeah,
so what an occasion that must have been.
It was. It was the only time, as I say, because the comradeship in those days was brilliant with the supporters and everything, but it was the only time I think I drunk myself sober on champagne. And that was, we went up the town stalk, which is the town and country now, and Ivor up there always looked after us and the players, and we all went back there. But it was cloud nine, like Harry said, Fred, you've got a job for life. But to be honest, the next season we nearly went straight up again, because it was only Southampton that pipped us. We had a hell of a good season in the second division, and as I say, Southampton pipped us to go to the first, which was. But then after that, as I say, it wasn't so good the following.
By the time
season.
I started watching, it was a bit of a struggle in the second division. It's fair to say. Let me remind you of one thing I remember about you. Coming out, the team would come out from where they now come out again. Funnily enough, at Ashton Gate, that side of the ground.
Oh yeah, no.
But you would run to the goal, towards the fans, and jump up and touch the crossbar. Where did that come from?
Well, that's right. It's. I always used to go out and, as I say, it was my loosen up to see if I could still touch the crossbar. But no, I used to go out and do that. But then.
Was it a lucky charm sort of thing?
And I always used to. It was a ritual. I don't know. Well, the main reason I did it, because in those days the old muddy pitches, the markings used to disappear a bit, and you could lose your bearings in goal. So what you used to do was you'd go out and I'd touch the crossbar, then I'd get to one post and just measure out 4 yards, so you know you're in the centre, then go out and scribe a line on the edge of the 6-yard box. And later on I started putting it on the edge of the penalty area, but the groundsman wouldn't have that today anyway. You don't have to, but that was the reason. But and then I used to always touch the bar after, and the crowd used to cheer, and they used to count the paces out in the end. And they came to me on some of the away regular band of supporters when we were having a drink in the bar after, was saying, asked me to do it when we were away, and we got close-knit relationship with the supporters then about just doing that ritual, and actually it won the fans over for me, really. I mean, it's surprising how a little thing like that, and I didn't consciously know I was doing it really to start with, but yeah, that was everybody, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I remember it well.
Yeah.
Were you still in the team that got to the League Cup semi-final in the start of the 70s?
Yeah.
So again, what do you remember? I remember the semi-final was against Spurs, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Two legs. From my memory, Alan Gilzine scored at Ashton Gate as a 1-1 draw.
Yeah.
What are your memories of those two games?
Yeah, it was the closest came to Wembley. It would have been a nice tribute to leave City, because I left just after there in 71, 72, and to get to Wembley. So that was the only upsetting part. But yeah, we were unlucky because we missed a penalty as well. We did. I mean, we lost 2-0 in the second leg. But to play against players like that made you realise. And Greavesy, I don't know whether. Actually, I get confused because we played.
You played them in the FA Cup, didn't you, as well?
We played them in the FA Cup, so there's the two games. But it was Gilzine, and
But they had a hell of a side, and Chivers, Martin Chivers, they had a hell of a side. So looking back over it all, Mike, Bristol City obviously was your life for a long time. You've told me you've lived in this house from the moment you came to Bristol, so that's over 50 years. Yeah. You've obviously got a great love affair with Bristol as well as Bristol City. Yeah.
Well, I have. I mean, it was a wonderful move to come here, and I do with the city. Well, I was there working for near on 40 years, really.
Because you were goalkeeping coach after you left, yeah.
And then the latter, I just ran the Keep Fit down there and did the scouting, assessing the teams we were playing.
The wonderful memories.
But wonderful memories, yeah, brilliant.